So, this is my first episode live. I don't know if anybody's gonna be up here, but we're just going with the flow. I'm really excited. So, y'all, I have decided that I want to start doing some weekly videos live, and I'm gonna be doing it kind of like interactive. I want to be doing different things like doing my makeup, applying lashes, showing you guys some of my products, showing you guys the beauty bar, having some interviews with some other like entrepreneurs, other goal oriented people, mindset type people who are just all about growth, lifestyle coaches, things like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. And the name Concrete Conversations is from my brand, Rose Gold Beauty. So the rose that grew from concrete. And that's just like a little spin-off. So basically our conversations are gonna be real, raw, solid, yeah, so solid like concrete. And yeah, so let's just jump into it. Um, like I said, I'm gonna be doing my makeup so that way, because I know you guys, y'all's attention span is like a fly now with like TikTok and Instagram reels and all the things. Like it's very hard to actually you know keep your attention. So I feel like when I'm just talking like straight to the camera, people just get a little bored after a while, and it's hard to hold people's focus, right? But yeah, so I also was very inspired to start doing these conversations because I had did that interview with 19 Keys, and it was just really fun. I love, getting other people's insight and really bouncing off of each other's ideas and, mindsets, because we all have something to contribute. You know, everybody has a different perspective about life, and I think it's very important to be open-minded to other people's perspective, because that's how we grow. you know that is how we learn different ways of thinking, ways of doing things, because there can always be two sides to every story. There can also be two truths. Like, there is nothing that is really just one way. Okay. um so I think it's just really important to like have these conversations with different people who have different backgrounds, who have different lifestyles, who have been more cultured in different areas, who travel more, because they can teach you things. Like, if you have always been in one city, one state, around the same types of people, that's all you're going to know. You are not going to know other ways of living, other ways of thinking. And that's exactly why I want to really travel more, because when you travel, you meet people of all walks of life. And that's why I love talking to like older people, because they've been here longer, and no matter what they have been through, they have some type of wisdom that they can share with you. So yeah, I absolutely love talking to like older people. And I feel like I'm an old soul. Like, I don't know, I've always kind of been wise, like, for my age. And I don't know if it just comes from like having to grow up fast, or if it's just in me. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I've always had wisdom, and I've always paid attention to like the little things about life. Like, I feel like, you know, God really talks to us daily, and God talks to us in like synchronicities, in like animals, in nature, signs, like all type of things. So like my favorite like synchronicity is, I love angel numbers. Like, I always know like I'm in alignment when I start seeing my repeating numbers. So like 222, 333, 444. Anytime you see those numbers repeatedly, that's like God giving you a sign. And I always look it up, you know, if I'm driving or something and I'm going through something and then I see, you know, 444, I look it up and it's telling you that your angels are with you. So yeah, I love stuff like that. And it's always like a confirmation, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm on the right path, or it's like a message that I needed in that moment. So yeah, I don't really have like a specific topic that I'm talking about today. I'm just really just talking because I kind of wanted to just get up here and like practice first and see how it goes, because I didn't even know if I was gonna have people join and actually watch. So yeah, feel free to interact with me. So, you know, drop me a comment, let me know you're here, let me know where you're from, and make sure you subscribe, okay? Make sure you like and subscribe, because we're definitely trying to grow this channel. And yeah, I want this to be like an empire. Okay, this is, we're not stopping at, you know, just opening the beauty bar and just doing makeup and things like that. Like, this is gonna be global. Okay, that's why I'm really excited to start having guests on here, because I just feel like, you know, when you have other people, you can, oh, sorry, somebody was calling me, but you can, like, you know, create different things off of each other. And that's just what I want to do. Like, when I was talking with 19 Keys, I feel like a lot of the ideas that I have, it's hard for me to express it because I'm really just talking to myself, you know, I'm talking to the camera. But when you're talking to somebody else, they can like ask you things and, you know, you can go from there pretty much. So yeah, I just think it would be dope to start bringing guests on. So if you're interested, you know, in coming on the show, then let me know, because I want to do a whole setup, you know, have like a background, have like, you know, some chairs and everything, make it a legit thing, right? Also, I plan on expanding my products, so I really want to get on here and like show you guys in real time like how they work. I just restocked my lash kits, so those are on the way. So when I get those in, I'll probably be going live to show you a tutorial on how to apply them, because I always get questions about applying them, which I actually have a virtual class on how to apply them, but it's for other people. Like, I show you how to put them on other people. So I probably will be going live soon to show you how I apply them on myself. But yeah, so I just filled in my brows a little bit. Now I'm about to get some setting spray and set my face, because preparation is key. You want to really get the skin prepped before you apply foundation and all the things. And make sure you share this for me. I don't really know how how YouTube works. I don't know if it's the same as Facebook. Like, if you can share it. But I know that YouTube is trying to like be more of like a platform, kind of like Facebook, which is another reason like I really want to start getting on here more, because I'm just kind of over Facebook, if we're being honest. And I think I want to focus more just on YouTube and get off of everything else. It just feels more private. Like, even though it's, you know, people are watching you and things, like, I just think Facebook is kind of like a family thing. Like, it's just all your, like, people you went to school with and your family, and, you know. So I think YouTube, I have more of, you know, the freedom to express myself and just do me. All right, where's my foundation? I went to the beach yesterday, so I got a little tan, so my foundation's probably a little darker than normal. Let's see. Might even have to mix a little bit. But yeah, let me know, like, what would you guys want to see? Like, do you want to actually see me doing, you know, tutorials and things, like while I'm talking, while we having like girl talk, or like, you know, or would you be more interested in like interview style, you know, where I'm, let's see if this matches. Like I said, I just got a tan. Or would you be more interested in like interviews with people? And then my chest is a little red, so it's throwing me off. And just a quick tip, y'all, if you're matching your foundation, you always want to match with your neck, okay? Your jawline. Never match with like your hand or your wrist or your chest. Always match with like your jawline, your neck. That's how you can make sure that you don't have like a floating face, like your face is dark and then the rest of your, you know, neck and everything is light, or vice versa. I think this is a pretty good match. And we're just doing a very light, natural beat. I'm not doing a lot today at all. Because for one, it's hot AF outside. And who has time to be wearing a full face of makeup? Not me. It's just too much. And I think ever since COVID, like I just kind of been over it. Like I really don't care about wearing a whole lot of makeup. I have a beauty blender. But yeah, I definitely got a tan. You can see on my forehead is darker. We're just gonna blend that on in with the beauty blender. That's the good thing about makeup, like it's literally art, you know, you can play around and do your own thing. But yeah, and then that's another reason I wanted to start doing this, because I just feel like a lot of people, you know, they know me for makeup, they know me for beauty, they know me for my business. But I am like so much more than my business. You know, it's so many layers to me. And I just really want a platform where, you know, I can just express all of me. You know, I'm not just beauty, I'm not just makeup, I'm not just my business. Like it's so much more to me. And the things that I have been through in my life, like I really have stories to tell that I know for a fact, you know, would help people, or just give them some type of insight, or, you know, just make them feel like they're not alone, you know. And that's really why I started this channel, because when I was going through like a lot of dark times and, you know, just going through different things in life, I really didn't have a ton of people to talk to about it. So I would just run to YouTube and like, you know, search whatever I was going through or whatever, and then watch videos about it. And I would feel, you know, better. Like I wasn't the only one. So that's kind of what inspired me to start my YouTube. And yeah, so now I'm trying to pay it forward. But that's also why I just kind of want to show y'all like real raw conversations, because I have been just starting, okay, with no real plan, you know, no like blueprint of what I'm doing. I just get an idea, like God literally speaks to me and tells me, you know, you need to do this. You don't need to wait till you have like a million things put together. Like just start, like just do it. So that's what I'm doing. Like I'm being obedient and listening. Also, I really need to get my watch time up. So I feel like this is a great way to do that, is to just start. And, you know, if people show up, then that's good. And if they don't, then hey, like, you know, I got the practice. And that's what it's all about, is just showing up for real. Hey, okay, Netherlands. That's dope. Okay, YouTube is pushing the algorithm out there. I'm here for it. Make sure you like and subscribe, please. I would appreciate it. But yeah, so let me know like what type of things you would be interested in seeing. Because like I said, this is my first live. Like, I've been posting videos just talking about certain topics and things, but I want to start having more live conversations and being more interactive with my audience. So yeah, I don't really know which direction I want to go in. I don't know if I want to go in more like life talks, like talking about business and how to navigate through life, like through trials and tribulations, how to have, you know, keep your faith through things, mindset. Like, I'm big on mindset and like reprogramming your mind, you know, entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a ton of different businesses, dating, life, you know, friendships, relationships, all of the things that, you know, we deal with daily. Energy, masculine, feminine energy, spiritual warfare. Yes, that's a huge one. Listen, like, I go through so much spiritual warfare. It's like I feel like a true warrior after some of the things that I done like overcame, because I should have been gone. Like, God would have been taking me out if I wasn't supposed to be here, you know. But I think that, you know, that's just a part of life. Like, honestly, like, I genuinely feel like we are here to live the human experience, and that is going through different trials and tribulations, like the good and the bad, because you know, life is a paradox. Like, you need the bad in order to know what the good is, because you're not going to appreciate the good without going through the bad. Because if everything was good all the time, you know, we wouldn't know what bad is. We wouldn't really appreciate it. We would just be used to it, and that would just be life. And you would get bored of it, honestly. Because that's like, you know, people say they want to live, you know, free and like be on vacation every day, and which I do. But I just feel like if I was constantly on vacation every day, not having anything to worry about ever, and life was just super easy on autopilot 24/7, I honestly feel like you would get bored with that, you know. So I think God literally gives us like trials and tribulations in order to help us grow and give us something to live for, you know, give us something to work for. And I know if it wasn't for a lot of the things that I went through, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like, I wouldn't have had that drive. I wouldn't have had the motivation to actually get up and keep going. So yeah, I think it's about just keeping that faith, like knowing that you're gonna get through it. You know, you got to go through the storm, and that's what's gonna build your character. That's what, you know, it really is the fun part. Like, because every time you get through it, you look back and you kind of miss like going through it. You know, you kind of miss that struggle, because that it was building you, you know, it was making you stronger, because that's when you get confidence. Like, once you make it through on the other side, and you know, all the things you had to go through to get there, like, you feel like you're invincible, like you're that girl, that guy, whatever, because you made it through. So thank you. Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing, is it's all about your intentions behind things. You know, because a lot of people think that as long as they're doing something like good, like say you go feed a homeless person, right? What are your intentions behind that? You know, are you feeding this homeless person because you genuinely want to help them? You want to see them do better? You want to, you know, encourage them? You want to encourage them, you know, to get out of that life, or, you know, whatever? Or are you doing that so you can go post it online and say, hey, like, I helped this person, you know, I did this, clap for me, like, you know, because that's a different type of intention. Um, so yeah, it's just like, what are your intentions behind things? Like, make sure that is like, whatever you do in life, you're doing it for the good, like the greater good, for humanity, for people, for just life in general. Don't do things for clout, for likes, for validation. You know, do it because you genuinely want to be a good person. I don't know. How did you find my page? Did I just pop up on your algorithm, or did you search for, like, you know, spiritual content? Because I also am trying to find, like, my people, like, who I attract, like, what types of content that people are attracted to, because I talk a lot about spirituality and about mindset shifting and things, but I have videos on a lot of different topics. So I'm really kind of trying to figure out what my lane is, what people want to find me, or, you know, what people want to watch me for. I was on the life channels. Okay. So yeah. Okay, spirituality. So yeah, I went down a rabbit hole like years ago, because I've always, like, you know, believed in God and everything, but I never really understood religions and things. And I don't knock anybody's religion. You know, I don't know if you have a religion or if you have a practice or anything, but I just consider myself spiritual because I believe that there is a God. I believe there's a higher power, but I believe that, you know, God's spirit lives within us. You know, we all have that Holy Spirit within us. And you know, I think people have to believe in something, because you can't, like, there's no way that, you know, we go through all these things and then, you know, all of a sudden, like, we're just taken care of. Like, you can go through so many battles, like spiritual warfare, and as long as you keep that faith, like, you always come out. Like, I've literally had so many miracles happen in my life. Like, my life is like a real, like, testimony to God. If I really need to sit down and write down everything that I have been through, because, like, I could write a book. And it's, like, supernatural the way that things happen. Like, there's no other explanation but God. Like, just for example, like, I'll just kind of tell a little story about my mom. She had a heart attack like 2 years ago, and she's only 52, I believe. Like, yeah, I think she's only 52. She's still very young. Too young to be having a heart attack, really. But she was in the hospital, and I got the call from her husband. And of course, you know, like, my heart dropped, because I never get a call, like, from him. Like, he, you know, he just doesn't call me like that. So it's like I already knew that something was wrong. And so when he said that she had a heart attack, she was in the hospital, you know, I freaked out. And me and her don't have, like, the closest relationship. But we've been working on it, you know. So that was just like a huge wake up call. And again, that's why I say I think that God kind of like sends you these situations on purpose to wake you up for whatever lesson you need to learn in that moment, you know. And so me and her, we were trying to work on our relationship, but you know, it was still not really there yet. And so when that happened, that really put things in perspective. Like, you know, I need to show up more, you know, whatever. So she was in there for a while. She actually ended up being in a coma. She was unconscious for a while, like some weeks. And I really thought that that was like it. You know, God or the doctors told us like she probably had a 25% chance to live. They didn't expect her to make it, you know. I had drove up there and it had to be God carrying me because I live out of town, so I live about 4 hours away. So when I had got the news, I drove up there and my car was like raggedy, like it was on the verge of breaking down. I needed new tires, like something was wrong with my, like the system, like the engine, like it was a bunch of things like going wrong. And so I was on the way up there and I was at a stoplight and this transfer truck was on like the other side of the road, and I was about to turn and he like ran the red light and swerved and like almost hit me. So I ended up running like my red light or whatever, and it was an undercover cop car sitting right there. And he didn't, I don't know if he's seen the transfer truck, but he's seen me like run the red light. And so of course he pulled me over, and I think he had to be like an angel sent from heaven because, you know, like we always get like nervous around cops and stuff. But he was like the sweetest cop. You know, I told him why I was speeding, like I had got scared, the whole transfer truck, and then I'm literally on the way to see my mom or whatever. And I just kind of explained that to him, and he was like, you know, it's okay. I pray like your mom's gonna be okay. Like, so he literally asked me, could he pray for her? And again, I'm not super religious or anything, but I was like, you know, yeah, like I need all the prayers, I need anything I can get right now. So he like prayed for her, and then he let me go, didn't give me a ticket or anything. I ended up driving up there, still my car, raggedy as hell, like driving. And I make it up there, and again, she's unconscious. But they say even though you're unconscious, you can still hear. So when I got there, I just started like trying to speak life into her, you know, telling her like she's gonna make it, like you got this, like you're too strong for this. Because if y'all know my mama, like she's a warrior, like that's where I get my warrior spirit. And yeah, so I was like, you know, you got this, you're gonna make it through, you know, whatever. And after that, I was sitting there with her husband, and he's not religious either. He's, you know, none of that stuff. And he's definitely not very into like spirituality and like manifestation and all the things. But I told him, I was like, you know, we're not gonna sit here and pray, but we're just gonna sit here and pretty much like meditate. We're gonna sit here and envision her being alive. We're going to block out like all the negativity. We're gonna block out all the, you know, negative thoughts of her not making it, and we're just gonna focus on her waking up. So we sat for like a minute in silence and didn't say anything. I was just like, you know, let's just envision this. And he was looking at me crazy, like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, this is not gonna work. This is dumb. But I was like, just do it. And literally like a day or two later, my mom woke up. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the reason why she woke up, but I truly believe that God like kept her here, and I believe that she was like waiting on me to like come there, because I hadn't even been home in years. Like I told you, me and her didn't have the best relationship, so I hadn't even been up there in so long. So it's like I think that she was like waiting on me to come up there, and God literally kept her for me. So, you know, that was just a very like supernatural experience, because also during that time she was unconscious, she had a blood clot in her leg from diabetes. She also had a stroke and just a few other like complications that was going on during the process of her being unconscious. And she should not have made it. Like, that was like a miracle case. And I looked the doctor in his eyes, and he pretty much told me, like, I'm sorry, like, it's nothing I can do. And I just refused to believe it. And that's like what I mean by, like, you have to have like crazy faith. And as long as you like hold that vision, like, if you like really believe, because that's really what it is, like, you have to have a strong belief in whatever you're trying to manifest or like, you know, bring to life or whatever. And that's why they say, you know, prayers work, because if you have enough people praying for you at the same time, or, you know, setting those intentions at the same time, if it's enough energy in it, then that's when it can, you know, manifest into the 3D reality. So that's why, you know, prayers work, all the things work if you have enough people who genuinely believe in it. And it can also go the, you know, the opposite way. If you have enough people believing in the negative, it can manifest in, you know, bad ways, which I feel like is why we're in the state we are in America. Because we just have a lot of crazy people over here thinking negatively and just off. So yeah, it manifests as a negative situation. So yeah, that's why you really have to choose, you know, what you entertain. Like, that's why you have to choose what you're going to bring into this life. You know, we create our reality. If you don't like something about your life, then you have to change the way you think about it. And I don't know if you had jumped in at the beginning of this, but I was just talking about how like we all have different perspectives of things, and that's why I want to start bringing some guests onto my show, because I want to get like different insights from people, because I know that my thought process is not the one and only. Like, you know, it's not right or wrong, it's just my perspective. And I want to hear, you know, other people's perspectives on things so we can, you know, bounce off of each other. Thank you. But yeah, like, that's just honestly one of the many like stories that I have. Like, so I think I want to start doing like story time and just talking about all of the crazy situations that I have been in or made it out of, or, you know, that God just like really came through, because it's just no other explanation. But yeah, I'm trying to think of something else. This shop, you know, I made a video about this shop, but this was handpicked for me. So my brand name is Rose Gold Beauty. So it's the rose that grew from concrete. So that's again what this whole conversation is about, concrete conversations. And basically you bloom wherever you're planted. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your background is, how much money you have, you know, your status, your family, none of that stuff. Like, you can make it out of anywhere. And I have been on my own like for so long, because again, me and my mom didn't have the best relationship. I'm not gonna say I raised myself, but I took care of myself a lot, like, growing up. So I've just kind of always been independent, like, ever since I was a child. And I've always been on my own, like, just making things happen for myself. I wasn't like a relationship that got me out here. Like I said, I moved from my hometown, and we ended up moving out here. So, you know, I've had help along the way in like certain areas and things or whatever. But majority of my life I've been on my own. And so once that relationship didn't work out, it's just been me, you know, figuring it out, building my business. Once I left that relationship, I kind of didn't have a backup plan. So I started my business and just started to go self-employed. And that relationship, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it turned very toxic, and it turned abusive, and it turned into a situation where I literally had to get out of it for my safety. and I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have money saved. I didn't have like another job or anything. And the job that I was working at was not going to be enough to pay my bills like by myself. So I was managing a store, like a makeup store, and I was bringing all my clients into the store. And I started seeing, you know, the money I was bringing in, and it was pretty good, like decent money. But compared to just my checks that I was getting from the store, it wasn't adding up. So I was like, if I just, you know, work outside of here and do my own thing and take my own clients, then I can keep 100% of the profit, and then I can pay my bills, you know, then I can be on my own. I don't need to be in a relationship or anything. So I did that, and God literally provided. Like, there's no other explanation, again, because yes, like I had clients and things, but I did not have a plan. Like, I didn't have regular clients. Like, at the time I was just doing makeup, and I think I had just started doing lash extensions, but I didn't have like a huge clientele. I was still in the beginning stages. I've been doing this for 12 years now. That just gives you an idea. So yeah, I decided to take a leap of faith with no backup plan, no money saved, anything. And as soon as I did that, I literally started getting booked out. I started making more money than I had ever made. And I was able to quit my job and go self-employed 100%. And I have no explanation for that. Like, I don't have an explanation of how that even was possible. But that was only the beginning, because after that, you know, I started working for myself. I started renting out like suites and things, a booth, like all these different places or whatever, just building my clientele up. And my goal was to always have my own thing, because I had also went through situations with like mean girls and like people purposely trying to like knock me down or sabotage my business or like all type of things. Like, I done been through it, okay? And when you're trying to mess with my money, like, that's literally how I'm surviving, you know? So yeah, like, it was a lot. And so I knew that I wanted my own space so that nobody could tell me what to do or kick me out, or like, you know, I don't have to answer to anybody. And shameless plug, this is my lip liner from my brand. So if you are interested in it, you can order it on my website. But yeah, so let's get back to it. But yeah, I just knew I wanted my own thing, so nobody could tell me what to do or kick me out or, you know, whatever. So hold on. I left this shop from a place where I feel like I was kind of being like ostracized. I don't know what the word for it is, but where people were literally like picking at me. Like, it was just a very uncomfortable environment, and it's like that mean girl energy. So I left and went to this other space where I was pretty much the only one there, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, I have to get my own shop, like my shop, like, because that space I was still renting from somebody else. And I was like, okay, God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, because I don't have any money. Like, I don't have any money saved up. Like, I was bringing in money, like I made good money, but all my bills and things like that, like, yeah, I just didn't understand how I was gonna get a building and get the equipment and the licensing and all these things that I had to get with no money. And so I just started looking. Like, I literally just started riding around. This is also my lip gloss, so shameless plug. This is my lip gloss. If you want to order, go on my website. But yeah, so I started riding around looking at buildings, and I seen a few of them, and I would just like take pictures or whatever. And that's how I started like manifesting in my head. I'm like, okay, if I just start looking for it and have an idea of what I need, then I can at least get the numbers. Then I can at least know in my head what I need to work towards. And so after that, I think I started looking in February because I have the pictures in my phone where I was riding around finding buildings. And that was in February of 2024. Yeah, 2024. By March, this girl that I used to watch every single day, like her videos will pop up on my feed every day of her praying in her building, praying over her business and things. And I used to see it, and I was drawn to her videos specifically because I followed a bunch of different like entrepreneurs with like buildings and all these things, but her specifically would always pop up on my page, and I would be like drawn to it. So one day she made a post and she was just like, you know, I'm looking for somebody to take over my lease. Inbox me if you're interested. And it said posted like 1 second ago. I messaged her right then and there, and I was like, I want it. Like, I don't know, you know, I'll send you a deposit, whatever. Like, I want it. I didn't have no money saved. I didn't have anything saved at all. My credit sucked. Like, I don't even know who I thought I was, but I was just like, I want it. Like, that's my building. And so she was like, okay, you know, you're the first person who messaged me, so, you know, I'm gonna keep you in mind, but I'm not the one who decides, like, you gotta go through the leasing office and all these things. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe, y'all. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so I was like, you know, I really want this building. And she was like, so you're the first person. I'm gonna send your information to the leasing office, but they have to make the decision. So when they said that, I was like, okay, probably not gonna get it because like I said, my credit sucks, don't have no money saved, I don't even have like real credentials. Like, I mean, I have my license, but I didn't have like a salon license, any of the things, like the real details you need. So I'm just like going off of faith. And so weeks go by, and after I didn't hear from her, I was over it. I was like, whatever. I don't care. Knowing I cared, you know. But that's how manifestation really works, because you have to like set your intention and then let it go and just be like, you know, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then we're just not in alignment. You know, it's just not for me. So that's what happened. I literally let it go and was like, you know, if it's for me, okay. If not, cool. And she messaged me on a random day. I was just like, hey, they said we're gonna work with you. You know, I know your credit and all this isn't all that great, but we're gonna basically sign a contract and like, you know, all these things, like making sure that you're gonna do your part. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, they give me a chance. Like, I feel like this is God. Like, there's no other explanation but God. It's not. Because again, I didn't have none of my stuff lined up. My credit, horrible. Like when you open a beauty bar, you have to have so many like licensing, especially in Virginia. Like, they're very strict about a lot of things. And I also do permanent makeup, which is kind of like a tattoo. So that's like a whole other like ballpark when it comes to that. So yeah, guys, like, you just gotta have faith, because miracles will literally happen. Like, and you won't know how. There will be no explanation. And also, I'll just throw this in here because it's already done now. But again, like, I had to have so many like things in order to run the business. So I had to get a health inspection from the health department, and that was such a like tedious process. And it was, for one, it was expensive, and two, like, it's just so many things that they make you do. So I should have had that done like when I first like got the space. But again, I was learning as I went. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And God literally kept holding me. Like, the lady was so sweet. Like, people were literally like looking out for me. And I would like see other people's situations, and they would be getting in trouble for certain things. Like, they would, you know, all these things, like other people would like it wouldn't happen for them. But it was literally like God was carrying me. Like, I'm going to make this happen for you. I'm going to make sure that I protect you while you're building everything, while you're getting it together. Like, I'm gonna make sure you're good. And yeah, like, and here we are 2 years later. I'm going on my 3rd year. It has not been easy. It has definitely been a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of spiritual warfare and just people like literally trying to like tear my business down, you know, but God just looks out every single time. So I think I'm just gonna stop this here because we're looking at 45 minutes. I don't want to run too long, but I just really wanted to get up here and just start, because that's what it is. Like, that's what it takes, is you just getting up there and starting, not procrastinating, can't talk, not procrastinating, not trying to make sure everything is perfect, you know, just do it. Everything that I have ever done in my life that has been successful has started with me just starting. And it's starting messy, starting vulnerable, starting without a plan, without a, you know, a blueprint, a guideline, me just deciding to start. So that would be my advice to you. You know, whatever you're trying to do in life, just start. And don't worry about the outside noise. Don't worry about, you know, what people are going to think of you, what they're going to say. Because when I first started this YouTube, well, I started my YouTube years ago. And then I've had like moments where I stop and start. But I've really been trying to get like real about it, more active about it for the last like 2 years. Pretty much since I moved into this shop. But when I first started, it was super cringe. Still cringe to me, you know. We're always our own worst critics. But super cringe. And I know people, like, especially my people from my hometown and just people I know, my friends and stuff, I know they were looking like, what are you doing? Like, this is embarrassing. Or, you know, I'm always the positive one. I'm always talking about mindset, spirituality. So a lot of people are just like, girl, like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody cares. Or, you know, you're weird. Or I've lost a lot of religious friends because they just don't understand the spiritual side of things. And then they make me feel like I'm crazy for talking about manifestation and, you know, all the things. So yeah, starting the channel, like, I lost a lot of people, gained a lot of people too. But now I'm noticing, since it's been like me being consistent with it, now people are respecting it. And honestly, people are starting to do it. Like, they're copying it, which is fine. As long as it's a good cause, as long as people are like being passionate, like really standing for something, doing something that they love, like, you know, I'm here for it. And that's what, you know, my channel is about, like, growth. You know, I'm all about growth, and I want to see other people grow. And that's how you spread positivity and you actually raise the vibration of the world, is by putting your ideas and things out there and giving other people permission to do the same, you know, because we all really are one. Like, nobody has the only ideas. Like, you're not the first person to do it, you're not going to be the last, you know. So a lot of it's ego. And but ego sometimes is good, especially in business, you know, but it's just like having that balance and not getting too deep into your ego, right? But yeah, so I'm just excited to start this and start having more real conversations with people, getting more interactive with people, hopefully bringing some guests on. And yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're still here, send me a rose in the comments. Let me know you're a real one. And make sure you subscribe, okay? Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so you can stay updated on all my content. And we can just start growing together. Because this is only the beginning, I'm telling y'all. Like, if y'all are on now, like, y'all some OGs, because we about to take off and we about to do big things. So if you're starting with me now, I'm gonna remember y'all, so when I make it big, okay? But okay, love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace. How do I end it? Hold on. It's my first live, y'all. I don't know how to end it. All right, y'all just get off of here. Because I don't know what I'm doing.